Download the BCSN Plus app today.
And the coaching carousel just keeps on turning, and it brings us right here to Toledo. Mike Jacobs is coming home. The Maumee native has agreed to a deal to become Toledo's next head coach. Jacobs coming over to UT after 2 seasons at Division II Mercer, including leading the Bears to their first ever conference title a season ago. That year also saw Mercer go 11-3 en route to an FCS playoff quarterfinal appearance. I won't say to Google him, but if you did, you'd see a whole lot of winning. Jacobs is a winner of over 80% of his games throughout his head coaching career. His stops include Notre Dame, Ohio, Lenoir-Rhyne, and Mercer. He brought home 7 conference titles, 6 NCAA playoff appearances, and 4 Coach of the Year honors. Jacobs also played on the offensive line at Ohio State from former Buckeye head coaches John Cooper and Jim Tressel. And by the way, I'm not joking when I say all Jacobs does is win. Here's a snapshot of the highest winning percentages among active Division I and II head coaches. The top 3, Ohio State's Ryan Day, Alabama's Kalen DeBoer, Georgia's Kirby Smart, and look who slides in at number 4. The newest Toledo Rocket, that 80% mark, is higher than 2 coaches currently preparing for the college football playoff, and Indiana's Kurt Cignetti and James Madison's Bob Chesney. Jacobs is set to be introduced Friday at 11 a.m. inside Savage Arena. The press conference is open to the public, and if you can't make it, you can stream it live on the BCSN Plus app.
Joining us in studio now for more on Jacobs is Pete Seymour, the sideline reporter for the Rocket Sports Radio Network. Pete, thanks so much for coming in and taking the time for us. This seems quick to me, right? It wasn't even a week since Candle left. On Friday, we heard the rumors there. Saturday, they made it official. And now here we are on Wednesday, and Toledo's got their guy.
And you know what's funny, Caleb, is I just had this conversation the other day with somebody. When was the time, what was the timeline going to be? How quick do you have to move after you name Robert Weiner interim head coach? Well, obviously that was answered pretty quickly because in just a few days, the Rockets have their guy. And I'll tell you what, couldn't be more excited for this football team and this community right now because they're getting a good one.
Jacobs from Maumee, he's a local guy. Mm-hmm. I got to imagine that made him pretty attractive to Toledo, but what are some of those other things that really caught the Rockets' eye and screamed that this is their guy? Well,
first and foremost, he's a winner. I mean, he is going to carry on the winning tradition at the University of Toledo, 16 consecutive seasons without a losing season for the Rockets, one of the best in the entire country, and that's first and foremost. Number 2, you mentioned, he's a local guy. He's going to bring the local roots, and he's going to bring that recruiting ground, too. What was an emphasis for Jason Candle and his staff? Win the recruiting in Ohio. So now we get to see 2 Ohio State guys go at it with Eddie George and now Mike Jacobs looking for the same guys at some of the same schools in Ohio. It should be a lot of fun to watch the chess match between the 2.
Eddie George having 12 on his new roster in Bowling Green, 12 Northwest Ohio guys. Candle always prided himself on that. Though Jacobs also has that Florida base too, being from Florida. He's got 2 different pools that he can pull from just from where he was from there. Does that really matter, though? Like, is that going to bring in people who it otherwise wouldn't?
I absolutely think it will, because one thing, and again, I imagine that Coach Jacobs has the same-ish philosophy, but when I was talking to players and assistant coaches even this past year, they would say, hey, the coaches at the University of Toledo don't paint the picture. They show you how it's going to be. And you see how that culture has been passed down with a large contingent of the Toledo Rockets playing in the Boca game just here in, 2 weeks. And the culture's been passed down of a winning tradition, and I think Mike Jacobs fits that exact mold of what they're looking for at UT.
With that game coming on the 23rd, you got to imagine that Jacobs is going to be in Boca Raton, right? Whether on the sideline or not, he's got to be there.
Oh, I would assume, especially this day and age of college football. I mean, you know how it goes. It's quick. Everything moves fast. Coaches move quickly, and hopefully for Jacobs, he's another one of those coaches that rises through all of the ranks. And I really enjoy that because another guy that I was able to meet a few years ago, even Dave Clausen, and you meet some of these guys who've been able to rise through the ranks of college football and prove themselves, and he's a proven name. And you see that, too, with the reaction around the community. Very, very positive reaction today.
Jacobs not the only hire Toledo going to make. They've got plenty more holes on the roster to fill. Most notably, I think, in my mind, is the defensive coordinator spot left by Vince Karras on his way up to Syracuse. Do you have any idea on a timeline where we can expect those positions to be filled?
Well, Coach Candle said that he was going to not mess with any of the staff, which is extremely respectable, until after the bowl game. Really excited for Coach Robert Weiner to coach this bowl game. Coach Hallett, I know, the other night on Sports Nightly, we went through all of the changes. Coach Hallett, the offensive line coach, he will be the offensive coordinator now. Perry Eliano, another incredibly proven guy, another made a stop at Ohio State at one point, made a stop at Bowling Green. Great guy, great human being. He'll take control of the defense, and yeah, we'll have Coach Weiner at the helm, and it should be a really fun bowl game. I'm looking forward to it. But to answer your question, I would probably say after the bowl game, after the first of the year, and yeah, picture will probably be a little bit clearer then. Hey, I'm as interested as you are. So,
Rocket Sports Radio Network sideline reporter Pete Seymour. Pete, thanks so much for taking the time.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.